What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to yet another video. In today's video, I want to show you guys how to properly read order flow. For today's video, I am going to be using a platform known as Bookmap. This is by far one of the easiest platforms to use to read order flow. So if you guys do want to check it out, I will be leaving a link down in the description. But let's hop into how to read order flow. Okay, so we're going to be talking about a few different ways that you can start reading order flow right away. And honestly, this all looks very confusing, but trust me, it's going to be very simple by the time you watch this entire video. But essentially, when we are looking at Bookmap, you can see that we have these shaded areas on the top and these shaded areas on the bottom, as well as these large green and red circles. So I want to start off with the shaded areas. Now, with the shaded areas, what these are is passive buy and passive sell orders within the market. If the shaded areas are above current price, they are passive sell orders. If the shaded area is below current price, it is a passive buy order. And the way that we can tell where current price is with this white line right here. So in this area up here, these are passive sell orders. When price was trading over here, these were passive buy orders. Now, what are passive orders? Passive orders are just limit orders within the market. So these people are only willing to sell ES at this specific price, or these people are only willing to buy ES at this specific price. They are only giving their broker permission to execute at this given price. Now, what these large buy and sell orders do is it shows us an area of overhead or an area of support where buyers or sellers are looking to get in the market. Now, if we can piece these areas together with key areas such as supply and demand, Fibonacci retracement, support and resistance, or a number of other indicators, we can get confirmation that that is truly an area that we should be looking to get long or short. So for example, let's just say we had an ES supply zone from 59.85 to 59.90, and we trade up into that area and we see a large amount of passive sell orders sitting at that supply. Well, that confirms that our area is truly valid and we should be looking for a short. Or let's say that price is pulling back towards VWAP and we're looking for a bounce. Let's say VWAP is right at 59.50 and we start to notice that there's a lot of large buyers sitting at that area of VWAP. Well, that double confirms that VWAP is an important area and we should be looking for a bounce there. So that's how you're going to be able to read the passive orders in the market. Again, piece them together with your key levels to see if they are truly valid. Now, the way that we can tell the amount of buyers or sellers in that specific area, there's two different ways. The first way is going to be looking at this color scale up here. So we can see that we have like this dark blue, light blue, white, yellow, a little darker yellow, orange, red, and then dark red. The further to the left on this color scale the shading is, the less amount of orders are sitting at that area. So like right here, there's no orders. Up here, there's like no orders. However, as you start getting into that yellow, orange, dark red, the further to the right of this color scale, the more amount of orders are sitting at that area. So again, a lot of buyers are right here, a lot of sellers right here, a lot of sellers here, a lot of buyers here, a lot of sellers here, no sellers up here, no sellers here, no sellers here, no buyers here, no buyers here. So it's very easy to tell how many buyers or sellers are sitting within the market. And again, piece it together with your key areas, you get a really good understanding of the overall market sentiment. But the second way that you can tell exactly how many orders are sitting at a specific area is by using this current order book over here. So this is going to tell you the exact amount of orders that are sitting at a specific level. So at 59.87.5, we have 290 sell orders sitting there. Down at this 59.50, we have exactly 287 orders sitting at that level. So again, this is going to tell you the exact amount of orders at a specific area. So there's two ways that you can tell, just by looking at the current order book or by looking at the shading from this color scale. And that'll let you know the amount of overall orders. Now, the second thing that I like to use for order flow is going to be these volume dots right here. And what these are is these are going to be your aggressive buyers and your aggressive sellers. So an aggressive buyer and an aggressive seller is somebody who is wanting to get into the market right now. So they are putting in a market order and they are telling their broker to get them in at the best price possible. And we can use a tool known as time and sales to see exactly how many orders are coming in within these volume dots. But also what we can do is just highlight the volume dot, and you can see at the bottom of the screen, I gotta stay highlighted on this circle, but you can see at the bottom of the screen, like the bottom left, it says ask 46 at 59.83 and then the overall volume at that level. But we can read a little deeper into those aggressive buyers or sellers by looking at the time and sales. So again, the time in sales is only going to reflect to us the aggressive buyers and the aggressive sellers. So typically what I like to do is put this at a minimum of 10, just because if you think about it, on average, the normal retail trader is not buying or selling 10 ES or even 10 NQ. So that's why I like to filter at a bare minimum of at least 10, because those are going to be the people that move the market. You can go higher, like 20 or 30 if you want, but I like to use a bare minimum of a 10. And the reason I like to use the time in sales as well as the volume dots is because if we break a key area or even like a supply and demand or a fib, whatever it may be, I can start to see, are there aggressive buyers or sellers that are pushing us through that level? And I can see also, to the extent, what is their overall size when they are trying to push price through the key areas. So again, I am using the shading as well as the current order book to understand, are there truly buyers or sellers sitting at my key levels in the market? This will give me more confirmation by allowing me to see the true size and intent at these key areas. But then I'm also using the volume dots as well as the time in sales to see, are buyers or sellers, aggressive buyers or sellers, pushing us through those key levels. So for example, say we go down into a support area and we trade down into it, and I start to notice that there is a lack of aggressive sellers going into the support zone. Well, what's likely going to happen? If there's a lack of aggressive sellers, but an overflow of passive buyers, price is likely going to bounce and go into the next area. Same thing if we're going up into a resistance area. If there is a lack of aggressive buyers and an overflow of passive sellers, price is likely going to reject and start to roll over. So this is one way that I really like to read order flow, especially when price is trading at key areas. And if you guys want to see me do this in real time, I literally do live trading on my YouTube 2 or 3 times a week. And I show my book map and chart while I'm trading. So if you guys want to tap in, make sure you're subscribed with your bell notifications on, because I post every single time that I go live. And I also post it on my Instagram group. So if you guys are not following me on Instagram, Brandon Trades, the link will be down in the description. Okay, so now the other way that I really like to use order flow is through the use of footprint charts. So I'm going to go ahead and put on the footprint chart. Now, when it comes to setting up my footprint charts on Bookmap, these are the settings that I use. I use time interval for the bar type. Bar width, I mean, really doesn't matter. It's up to you. But the footprint type that I like to use is the buy and sell. You can play around with the other options such as sum or horizontal delta, diagonal delta, whatever, but I like the buy and sell. Okay, so with the footprint charts, essentially what this is showing us is, just imagine like we had a normal candlestick right here. It's letting us see deeper into the actual candlestick and to really understand the buying or selling within that candlestick. So looking at the footprint chart, on the left side, we can see that we have this red shading. On the right side, we can see that we have this green shading. The left side is going to be aggressive sellers. So these are people who are selling market to get in right away. The people on the right, the green side, is going to be aggressive buyers, so people who are putting in market orders to get filled right now. And again, this is showing us exactly what is happening within the candlestick. So at the very top of the candlestick on this 5-minute time frame, or whatever time frame I have selected, there was no buyers at the top besides one right here. We had 2 aggressive sellers, another 2, and another 1 aggressive seller right here. Now, as we start to get a little lower, however, we can start to see that the aggressive sellers start to pick up. Right here, we had 31 aggressive sellers. Over here, we had 22 aggressive buyers. As we start getting lower on the candlestick, this started to show us that there was more aggressive sellers than there were aggressive buyers. If we start to look at the next candlestick, we can see that at the top of the candle, we had aggressive buyers, but really no aggressive sellers. Over here, we had 13 aggressive buyers, 10 aggressive buyers. Right here, we had 11 aggressive sellers. Right here, we had 12 aggressive buyers. And then if we're looking at this one right here that is currently forming, wherever it went, there it is, we can see that again, we had a lot of aggressive sellers here at 51 and then here at 47. And now the one that is currently forming, we have 6 aggressive buyers, another 6, another 9. Not too many aggressive sellers. So again, how can we use this to identify high probability setups? And it's all going to stem off of key levels. So for example, let's say we come down to a demand zone and we have a lot of passive buyers at that demand zone and price starts to bounce off of it. Well, let's say, for example, at the same time, we start looking at the footprint and we start to notice a lot of aggressive buyers coming in at the bottom of that footprint chart. What is that telling us? Passive buyers are getting filled at the demand, but also aggressive buyers are coming in at the bottom of the demand, which is hinting to us that a upside move is more than likely going to happen, and it gives us the edge in the market. Now, what about on the flip side? Well, if price were to go up into a supply zone, for example, and we start using the heat map and we notice that there's a lot of passive sellers within the supply, price comes up to it, it starts to reject it, but then we look at the footprint chart and we start to notice on the left side that there's a lot of aggressive sellers coming in at the top of the candle. Again, what that is going to do is that is going to confirm to us that there's passive sellers getting hit at the supply zone, but also aggressive sellers coming in at the supply zone looking to drive price lower. So as a result, both of those scenarios are going to set up for a high probability trade. But that is going to wrap up this video on how to read order flow. If you guys would like more in-depth videos on how to read order flow, make sure to drop a like, comment down below letting me know that you would like more order flow videos. I would definitely be willing to make an entire series on order flow. I just want to make sure you guys want it. So again, comment down below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Everybody have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.